Hey, Aeromio. Thought that was Morganite Sky there for a second. I was like, you got the colors are messing me up. Excuse me, this is about me. You stay out of this. Yeah, Anya's need to stand up for herself, but JRPGs. Ren certainly grew up. Yeah. And yeah, I believe that is Ren. Ren, old Ren. Angel of Slaughter Ren, yes. I believe that is the case. Looking for a while? You're about 12 seconds behind? I've been there. Completely different voice? Indeed. What was that all about? The call from home that was so important you ditched us in the middle of a job. Hey, don't be mean. It's not like we weren't perfectly capable of handling stuff. Of course we were, but that's not the point. It's fine to have stuff come up from time to time, but not for other people to get all up in our business about it. You might be doing what you think is best, but you should ask yourself if you're doing right by everyone around you, all I'm saying. Well, stuff's important whether you're Heiyue, a Jaeger, or just some Joe working a desk job. And it's crazy to me that I'm the one pushing this and not you. Yeah, I guess you're right. Your old man, starting to have a problem with your side gig. How do you? I don't know squat, I'm just guessing. I haven't changed my stance since you started working here. You make the calls on what you want to do with your life. Whether that leads you to stick around or leave is up to you. Though if your family's going to start interfering, I might have to be careful what I ask you to do from here on out. Bam. It's the opposite of what you all seem to think. He was only checking in on me. The father is a busy man. He doesn't even have time to send the occasional letter like Fairies does. I haven't spoken to him in 3 months, so I didn't want to pass up the chance. I really am sorry about running off. Well, that's what it was. I'm sure you have your father's phone number. You can contact him whenever you want, probably. Honestly, I thought I was going to get yelled at for being late the other day or taking on this dangerous job. But even though I'm sure he knows everything I've been doing, he didn't have a word of criticism about it. Give old Ren back?
Aren't you going to say anything, Dad? Anything at all? You aren't going to tell me to give up my dangerous part-time job? Or not to go traveling without permission?
Your grades meet my expectations. Your attendance is solid, and your lateness the other day was relatively minor. Your reputation as part of the student council is also excellent. As far as the public eye is concerned, you're conducting yourself well. I see no reason to dictate what you do with your personal time. I will ask but 2 things of you, Agnes. One is to avoid causing any direct trouble for me. The other is to do nothing that would embarrass your mother. As long as you honor those 2 requests, your life is yours to live. And if you require assistance with anything, you know who to call. They will handle almost anything for you. They could probably spare you from needing to do that job of yours in the first place, even.
In short, it's not going to be a problem for me to keep working as I've been doing. Ghostbusters, I thought about that too. It popped into my mind. This should be the last time I have to run off like that too. Onions. Well, it ain't up to me to poke my nose into other people's family business. But it sounds to me like he trusts you, and that's worth something. It's up to you what you want to do with the Genesees, or whether you want this job to begin with. Am I wrong? Is water wet? Am I wrong? No, you're absolutely right. Either way, I'm happy to be able to keep working with you all. Yeah, we're happy to have you too. Try not to fall behind, though. He's been doing this longer than you have, but I'm with Fairy on this one. Just try and do something about your friends. We can't have him barging in half the darn time in the future. I'll do my best to clear up his misunderstandings, or barring that, at least get him to promise to leave us alone. Yeah, you tell him the truth and he'd lose his stuff. So this is an example of the ends justifying the means, huh? Now I get it. I mean, it is, but try not to learn any life lessons from it. Wait, this is...
You got a moment, Van?
Hey, not often I get a call from you. You got work or something? We just wrapped a job up, so we're free if you want to talk it out.
Perfect. But I'm not the one with the request. I was asked by an acquaintance to hook them up with some FaceTime with you. I gave them your work number, so they should be calling any time now. Up to you whether you take them on, though.
Should you be handing out my work number? You know, you should tell them to submit a request behind a notice board. And if I decide to go visit that one, I'll check it out. Oh, well, alright, got it. Sounds like it was that tabloid geek. Guy has nothing on me, but he's got the looks, unlike a certain crusty old fart I know. Jesus. I want to take this outside, Brett. I think Van's pretty good looking, though. I think he'd cry with joy if he heard you say that. There it is already.
Thank goodness. I was worried I wouldn't be able to get through.
No way. Is that Nina? For real? Isn't that? Okay. When Dingo told me he had a client, I never dreamed it'd be you.
I see a new face among your number, too. In any case, I'm very much hoping to work with you.
How did this conversation come about? You reach out to an old tabloid friend and you're like, there's this person that calls themselves the Spriggan, and I want to give them a job. Do you know anything about it? And they're like, oh yeah, that's my buddy, you know, let me give you his number. Is that how that conversation went? Of course, I'll make sure to tell everyone that I'm going somewhere this time too. Well, good night, everyone. So I figure Fairy's coming, but what about you? I'm down, like I said, or like I could say no after hearing all that. Totally coming too. Not that I can blame you. That story would have gotten anyone's interest. Guess that means we're all going to Tharbad. If we flashback, oh my gosh. This is what I don't understand. Why not just play the story in real time? Why skip it? Talk about that we're gonna go to the place and then flashback like literally 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, back to what we skipped. A film festival, once held every year in the city of Messeldom to the north. Though I'd heard this year's was cancelled about 2 months back thanks to a terrorist threat. One in Messeldom certainly was, but this is something else. It's a new event taking place for the first time this year, backed by the Principality of El-Saim, in the Central East. It's going to be called the Tharbad Film Festival, and it's sponsored by Vegas Films. Oh right, I remember hearing about that now that you mention it. Vegas is a film distributor that's had a bunch of big hits lately, right? All directed by some freak named Gotti. Oh, Golden Blood was one of those, right? That's right, they're still a relatively new company, but at their current rate, they'll be a major studio before much longer. The director prioritizes entertainment value above all else, and his films can be a bit extreme in their content. If you want extreme, try watching the director's cut Now that was spicy. I can't, I'm still 16. What's a director's cut? Vegas films wouldn't be where they are without Salvatore Gotti. No one makes cinema the way he does. I'm guessing the whole thing's mostly an excuse to give his company and their releases most of the awards. Not at all. Gotti is determined to make the judging process completely fair and impartial. Most of the nominated films are mass market, but a wide variety of directors, actors, and actresses are invited. I am one of those actresses, as is the other client for this request. I see. And so, that's the context behind this threatening letter that showed up at your agency. Indeed, it reads like this. Decline to participate in the Tharbad Film Festival, or tragedy will befall you. Same letter was sent to other companies connected to ours too. We can't rule out the possibility that it's an elaborate prank, but we're still concerned. You definitely can't ignore it when another film festival's already been canceled because of a terrorist threat. Well, the culprit could have just sent those things because they knew you'd feel that way. Yes, my agency has been trying to persuade me not to attend because of the danger involved. But I'm still a relatively inexperienced actress, so I think the festival could be a valuable opportunity. The other client for this job feels the same way, and that was what inspired us to look for potential help. And that's when you chanced on us, huh? You're a lot gutsier than you look. When I met you all earlier today, it reminded me of some rumors I'd heard about you in the industry. And since I already knew Dingo from when he previously helped with some trouble in my agency, I asked him for your number.
Your team just seems like the most reasonable option.
More reasonable than the police? More reasonable than the bracers? You know, the bracers were there when you got saved. Just, why the heck would you... When there's quote-unquote trustworthy organizations out there who, you know, help people, you decide to go with the shady guy?
In this line of work, image is everything. So I really don't want to get the police involved and turn this into a big deal.
Terrorist threats are a big deal. Throwing that out there.
But the guild isn't really suited to delicate matters like these either.
Are you kidding me? I'll have to remind you that there was a certain incident in Crossbell where a bunch of terrorists were attacking the city. And you know who saved the day? A bunch of students from a military academy. But there were some bracers among them too. That makes sense. Bracers have always struck me as prioritizing their code above all else and avoiding anything remotely illegal. Yeah, bracers are heroes of justice first and foremost. If you need moral flexibility, they ain't your guys. They are really trying their best to navigate around this so that, like, they do this every time. You know, it's like the police and the bracers. They're the most logical people to go for this because they have the resources and the know-how to actually approach these scenarios. But they always do their best to try and navigate around every single logical reason why you would go to one of them so that they can pinpoint something where it's like, ah, yes, you know what? Bracers don't have moral flexibility. They just care about justice. It's like, oh my gosh, come on. Dingo's brought me showbiz-related jobs in the past, so this wouldn't be my first time doing one. Will be my first time with one this big, though. Hope you know this ain't gonna come cheap. On the contrary, the amount that we've been getting paid is ridiculously cheap. All right, Van, you need to raise your prices.
Of course. You'd be protecting the film festival. That's quite a task.
Yeah. We got, what is this, 4 people? 4 people to protect an entire film festival. Instead of, bracers, security, the police.
If you are willing to do this, I'd like you to plan to arrive in Tharbad the day after tomorrow. I'd then like you to nose around for any suspicious activity during the 3 days leading up to the festival. However you do that is up to you, of course. I'm aware you traditionally handle requests through that 4SPG system of yours.
Wait. So... So you receive a threat, and you want us to go to this location to investigate the threat, but what's gonna happen with the show? What's going on there?
Myself and the other client will provide for your expenses and compensation out of our personal funds, too.
Personal funds? What the heck? Wow, you can afford that? I can afford it. You know what? I can pay this entire staff's salary for an entire year and I still wouldn't go broke. That's how cheap Van's crew is. Makes sense a rising star would be filthy rich. Now you've got me curious about who this other client is. Yeah, this is gonna be longer than our visit to Longport even. What to do? Man. Oh no. Look at that. The Genesis. It lights up every time. I'm being so cynical right now. I'm being that way because this is I said it before. This Trails game has the option of doing something like Trails into Reverie, where it's a build up to something, or they can do what they've done in the past, where they build up to something, aka Chapter 1, we build up to the confrontation with Melchior, and then it falls down, and it's like Melchior just never existed. The Jaegers, our associations, our interest and care in who Melchior is and how they're doing what they're doing and stuff like that, like all of that falls off. And then we build up to another scenario. This one was Aaron, stuff is going down in Longport, and oh man, there's this thing called I forget what it was. I'm just gonna say the Tormentor. I don't know. It starts with a T. Tyrant. There's this tyrant, and Aaron's the tyrant, and Almada is responsible for like building up this tyrant and bringing it to light, and they want it to destroy the city and stuff like that. And then we beat the tyrant, and we save the day, and then it falls back down again. And it's like we have not mentioned the tyrant a single time since then. We haven't talked to Aaron about how he feels about it, what's going on with this tyrant ability. Like, is it gone? Is it something that he's practicing with? Like none of that. It does this thing where it builds up to give you a like story plot device, and then it just leaves it there and doesn't touch on it ever again. And then it builds up to another story plot device, and it leaves it there and it doesn't touch on it ever again. And there's this loose connection thread of Almada. And like that's all they have going for it. It's just kind of annoying. And then the whole Genesis aspect, just the Genesis just decides to randomly glow whenever it feels like it to point us in the right direction. It feels very contrived, the Genesis aspect of it. And it just kind of bothers me. Why can't we have it so that we build up to the Jaeger spot where it's like, okay, there's a Genesis here and it's raising undead, and oh my goodness, there's this crazy guy named Melchior and he's behind all of this. And so we stop that whole operation, and then instead of falling down and forgetting about all that ever happens, instead we're like, we need to look into this Melchior guy and find out what's going on. And so we're doing investigations to see if we can find out more information about Almada and what they're doing. And that takes us to like hideouts and things like that. And eventually we find some clues that lead us to Longport. And then we're dealing with Hayue, we're dealing with Almada, and then we're dealing with Aaron. And then we come to a head where we actually do track down the Almada executives, and they're like, aha, we have led you down the path that we wanted to lead you down. And then we do the whole tyrant thing, and then we're like, oh man, we got totally bodied, but what does this tyrant thing have to do with? And so we start looking into the tyrant thing while also looking for more information on Almada. And maybe we then find out that we need to go to the Tharbad Film Festival for some reason. I don't know. We're not there yet. That I just want the story to be passing, and I don't think they're doing a good job right now in these beginning hours. That's all. Trails games have such wonderful characters and like world building and things like that all they have to do is build one continuous story that links itself back to back. But as my title suggests, we have to mow the lawn in between every significant story development. Trail's story structure in a nutshell? Exactly. That's why Trails in the Reverie was such an anomaly, is because it had a different way of telling the story, but like it was a constant ramp up, and that was so nice. Wait.
What is it?
Oh, don't sweat it. Anyway, this is a really big ask out of the blue, so we'll discuss it and call you back. Usually we prefer a bit more heads up on tall orders like this. Getting everything ready on our end to arrive in Tharbad in time for the day after tomorrow ain't gonna be easy.
I'm sorry for imposing on you. It's just that I only really decided after meeting you in person. Oh, but considering the short notice, maybe I could offer you a little something extra to sweeten the deal? I'd be happy to treat you to a limited edition confection available at the Algemira, a 6-star hotel in Tharbad.
We can do that on our own. Oh, tell me more, just for reference.
It's called Melfita, a type of chocolate made using camel's milk. They combine it with highly valuable cacao pulp too, I believe. The result is a unique, full-bodied sweetness that caresses your tongue.
Okay, I've heard enough. I'll call you with our decision tomorrow. I suspect it'll be one that'll make us both happy.
I'll have to thank Dingo for his advice. I'll be looking forward to your response then, Mr. Arkwright.
You are such a darn pushover. But I've never been to Tharbad before, so I'm kind of looking forward to this. I've been there before, so I might be able to help us get around a little. I don't mind you guys coming along, just make sure you take care of everything you gotta do here first. Sure, you got a lot of schoolwork to do, Farida, and you gotta get your license renewed, right? Alright, if nothing else, I need to get my math homework done. I know about the license, but man, it's a pain. Can't I just go without one for a few days? Like heck you can. Mary goes to school? Yeah, she's a youngin'. Goes to church school or something. I can't believe it lit up right that moment. I can. It's lit up every single time something like that has happened. Was it a coincidence? Nah. City's always got a nice ambiance to it when it's raining, but something smells a bit off. It's a good time as any to go sniffing around before we head off to the desert, I guess. Oh no, it's raining. Hey, Yume. Hey, come on, stop drinking so much, you smell. You have to walk home, right? Drink too much and you'll get all clumsy. I don't have anyone to come home to. Nobody cares about me. What do you mean? You gotta turn that frown upside down or the happy thoughts won't come back. Alright, you're just saying the same thing. See, Yume always has the right things to say. Aw. Jin's not there. So is Ren the friend who gave Anya's Van's address and stuff? How do they know each other? That's a good call out there. That might be what happened. Since he commented that it's been 5 years since she grew up. It's been said a couple of times that Van was part of Operation Meal Mirage, and Ren was also part of Meal Mirage, so it's possible that that's when they met. It's possible. Meal Mirage is 2 years ago?
Off we go.
Oh. Well then, I have no idea. Charging 1,010 Mira per hour. The thing is, Mr. JRPG, is we're not charging per hour. Like, that mission that we did to go do the Jaegers, we were there for at least a day. Maybe even 2 days. And we didn't get paid anywhere close to...
See the movie fans are raving about. Get the brilliantly bitter taste of golden blood.
Well,
to, 16 hours of work, 8 hours of work, whatever. I got like 2,500. It was ridiculous. We were there all freaking day. Gas prices expensive. Yeah, we didn't get paid for any expenses. I didn't get my money back from buying items and food and things like that. I did not get paid for my travel time. It's like, what is going on here? No, you should have. You better dart back down them stairs. You stay right there. Very rude to try and slink off the second you see someone you know. Just being mindful. Didn't want to bother you two. Your timing's actually perfect. was just telling her about how I ran into you guys earlier today. We can get through the story faster with you here. That's not. Fine. I guess I can chat you guys up for a second. You expect Reverie-like stuff for the end of the arc? It's not the massive, like, big payoffs that Reverie provided that I'm necessarily talking about. I'm just talking about how Reverie started with a plot device kind of thing. And everything that we were doing in that game was to further our understanding of that plot device and kind of construct a way to stop it, basically. And, you know, aside from like one particular character, like every interaction basically felt like we were moving towards one of those two goals, and there was never a point where I felt like in this game, for example, after we finished Jaeger's, we're doing side quest, main quests, you know, stuff that's not relevant to anything plot related. And I didn't feel like Reverie had any of that. It was always pushing forward to something relevant. And sure, I get the whole Trails formula thing, but you know, are we going to accept this formula for all time? How many games until the fandom, you know, says, you know what, this type of storytelling is getting old, because it's old for me. Trust you to sit next to Fee instead of me. Is she more your type? Because she's the one who invited me over. Don't look too hard into things. Just kidding, though you'll forgive me for being suspicious when you seemingly only employ young women now. I didn't hire any of them willingly. I told you that already. You know I'd much rather work alone if I can help it. You can't help it. You can just say no, Van. I know. Easier for your shady work to happen when there's no witnesses at all, right? Nothing shady about my work. I got standards and I ain't about to forego them. Why are you always trying to avoid me? What does that have to do? Like, are you saying that you're shady, Elaine? Like, what are you implying here? Now, that's a whole different issue. Third wheeling's no fun. That wasn't. Sorry, I didn't want you to see me like that. Oh, I could listen to this all night. Not everyone gets to see Beauty's blade like this. We're done now. Zin wasn't kidding about the two of you getting along. I'm not sure that's how I'd put it. We've just known each other for a long time. That's all there is to it. Yes, that's right. I won't pry, but you two avoiding it so much only makes me more curious. Guess I'll figure out the rest on my own. Thanks for giving me something else to enjoy while I'm in Calvard. Guild needs to stop looking toward Sokofus for help, I swear. First it's Kitty, now you. You know her too. I take it the Guild's had an eye on her for a while now. Of course, especially considering who her current family is. But she's only here in Calvard as a student right now. We have no intention of interfering in her affairs. Like you could stop her. Yeah, I'm taking that one with a big grain of salt, especially when Zin's involved. So I don't know why you're pawning jobs off on me when y'all have so many resources on hand already. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The Guild saying, yeah, we're gonna give you some jobs. Like, hello? Especially because Zin's like, these ones are maybe a little too, well, I'll just use shady again. For us. And it's just one of those scenarios where it's like, so people are giving the Bracer Guild shady jobs. And if we didn't do them, the Bracer Guild would do them. So, where are people going with this? You never have too many. We'll still be short in the long term. Hate to agree, but she's right. Man. Well, thanks for the invite. I'll get out of your hair now. We didn't talk about anything that we were invited to sit down for. Sure thing. I learned a lot from talking with you. We'll have to sit down again together sometime. No promises. Would you rather I not third wheel next time and leave you two alone? Not what I meant. I'll stop teasing her now, before she gets angrier. Bye, Van. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Wouldn't surprise me if we did. Didn't you just say earlier, don't count on it? You didn't even raise his prices to account for the extra staff to pay? Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, what are you doing, man? You're paying for more employees? Is this guy actually smoking? Oh my gosh. Does this game have
See
a
the movie
warning
fans are raving about.
for
Get the
smoking?
brilliantly bitter taste of golden blood.
Oh, I thought this said bracer guy, and I was like, oh my gosh. But it did not say that. I don't feel like monster slaying. Here you go, Van. Yeah, there's that too. Like, hold on a second. That's literally what the bracers are supposed to be doing. Why are you giving this to me?
Let's do this.
Sure they did, off screen. Ah, yes. We gotta skip to the important parts, you know, the awkward conversations.
The showing on screen 1 will soon begin. If you have a ticket, please proceed to the entrance.
That home chick slice and them have to make. Dingle. Gonna watch a movie. I'll tag along if you want. Not that I'm the first choice for company for a lady killer like you. Oh, hey Van. No, I just found myself passing by while thinking about some things. This film festival coming up in Tharbad is shaping up to be a messy one. You're telling me, as if there wasn't enough attention on it after Messeldoms got canned. We've got those threatening notes to deal with. You just had to give us a tough job, didn't you? So what if it is? I knew you could handle it, so that's why I referred you. It shouldn't all be so bad out there. I promise to hook you guys up with some decent 4 SPGs for your trouble while you're there. Thanks, I'd appreciate it. I'm just impressed. You know such a famous actress. I guess that comes with being such a hotshot reporter, but still, how'd you two even meet? Nina and I happen to share a minor connection, that's all. I wouldn't say we're all that friendly or anything along those lines. She is quite an impressive person, though, I'll grant you that. Heck yeah, she is. Already on the top of the movie world at her age. With those looks and the acting chops to back 'em up, she more than belongs. Not talking about any of that. I'm more talking about her personality. She's an incredibly tenacious young woman with an equally strong will, more than people give her credit for. I'm sure you've noticed too, right? Yeah, I guess you could say I have. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with her whole background and how... There you are, Dingo. I've been looking all over for you. Hey, Marielle. What is it this time? Man, she really can't get enough of you, can she? Hey, that's Spriggan. What are you doing hanging out with Dingo again? Wait, are you two like a thing? Does it look like it? Some reporter you are. And what's that supposed to mean? I just don't think you're a good enough man for Dingo, that's all. As for you, mister, fess up. What have you been pursuing all this time, huh? What could possibly be so big that it has so much of your attention? Told you before, it doesn't concern you. Besides, why should I feel obligated to tell someone from a competitor what I'm working on? You sure didn't seem to be having any trouble talking to him before I showed up. Why can't you tell him but not me? It's not fair. It's not fair at all. For the love of Adios, keep me out of this. Wait a minute. If you're here in the theater, could it have something to do with the movie festival? Hey, Dingo, did you mention there was a movie you wanted to see? Wish I could take you up on your invitation, but something came up. I gotta bail. Real sorry, man. I know it's not exactly the funnest thing, watching a movie by yourself, but I bet it'll still be good without me. Oh, you're here to see something. I'll join you. I'm completely free right now, so I'd be more than happy to spend some time with you, Dingo. Darn it, Van, what the heck did you have to do that for? Oh, quit whining. She's a sweetheart when you get down to it. Be a good mentor and show her a nice time. Have fun, you two. I'll see you both later.
Why not
Dip.
I stay here to remember your visit?
Off we go.
Oh, I was supposed to save and mark like 6 billion years ago. Should I call it a night? Let me save and mark. Just in case I need a 30-minute one. She's so annoying. You don't, her and Dingo get together, or you don't want her and Dingo to get together, but we all know it will happen. I don't think that's going to happen. She is really annoying, though. Like, really annoying.